Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the German Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the King Tiger. Now the King Tiger is the Tiger 2 but just a premium version of it, and it actually surprisingly is worse than the Tech Tree version. You heard that right, a premium tank is actually worse than the Tech Tree version of itself. It's got a really cool skin, as you see. It came out at the time with another version of itself, which was the Captured King Tiger, which came out in the American premium section, and that had the 88mm gun, an absolutely blistering rate of fire, and I think worse mobility than this tank. Can't quite remember. But yeah, this is the German version. Like I say, it is worse than the Tech Tree Tiger 2. But it's pretty much the same in most ways. So what is worse? Well, what is worse about this tank is the accuracy, number one. Because the accuracy on the standard Tiger 2 is 0.31 accuracy, sorry. Whereas on the Premium King Tiger, it's 0.34. Which, yeah, picking things here, but the Tiger 2's gun is absolutely filthily accurate, whereas this tank does have that little bit of an extra bit of derpiness about it, but 0.34 is still absolutely fantastic, so it is one of those things, right? And in terms of the aim time is also different, which is what helps make the gun feel a little bit derpier as well, as opposed to the Tiger 2, is the fact that this aim time on this tank is 2.5 seconds, which is quite long for a 105mm gun, as opposed to the Tiger 2's 2.3. So generally, this tank is worse than the Tiger 2 in terms of those statistics, but it's still a pretty damn decent Tiger 2, especially after they buffed it a long while ago. I think I may have done a video back then when they did buff it. Same as when they buffed the Tiger 2's frontal armour. They just made the frontal armour of the turret and the hull just better, and it meant that you can actually bounce stuff, even at tier 10 now. You can actually ricochet things off your hull armour, especially when you're angled, and off your turret armour, as opposed to being just a hit point pinata against tier 9s and 10s with their 260-odd pen, and they just had to look at you and sneeze at you, and most of your health disappeared. Still does happen, because you are a tier 8 heavy in a tier 10 game, like you're going to see in both replays, but it just gives you that little bit extra durability, which was nice for sure for the tank. In terms of a crew on the German King Tiger, I do run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Track Mechanic, Rapid Aim. Rapid Aim to make the turret traverse just that little bit better because it can be a little bit slow. All the gun perks to make sure that the accuracy on this gun is as good as humanly possible. So like I say, 0.34 is still great, to be fair, but I make all the gun perks on it because it is a heavy tank. I want to make sure the gun is fantastic. I take all the gun perks just so that, basically, I don't have to run a vertical stabilizers. So in terms of equipment, I do run rammer, vents, and optics. Vents to make everything about the tank as good as it can be, like the aim time, the DPM, the view range, everything. Optics to make my view range as good as humanly possible again as well. And the advanced loader to make my DPM 10% better, because that's just, it's always a must for heavy tanks. Again, in that slot, instead of vents, you could run traction system to make it go at 41 kilometers an hour if you wanted to. You could meme and run advanced armor and make it so that you take 5% less damage from shots incoming, and then run the armor angling and make it 10% less. If you wanted to meme like that, you could run plenty of other things. It's completely down to you and how you want to set the tank up. But I run vents because I just want to make everything just that little bit better. So in this game on Pearl River, so far, again, tier 10 game, we have managed to accomplish 2.9k damage so far. We've got 919 hit points left, and I'm thinking, right, okay, what do I want to do? I want to try and push these guys. We've loaded the premium round so that we can try and go through the VK101P. Artillery keeps looking at us, and I know he can't hit us here, but I'm just like, yeah, I'm not taking that risk. I don't want to lose any more hit points than I already have at this point. We're just trying to use the ridge here to sort of side scrape out and back up to try and get a cheeky shot at these guys, and we do manage to get a shot in to shut down that TNH 105-1000. The equalizer gets spotted up over there. We can just see a little bit of his tank, but we can't quite get the shot in. I was thinking he was possibly going to drive out, but he doesn't. He ends up hiding behind the rock. Clearly he's going to go try and get that light tank, but the light tank is zooming around him. So we're going to try and get up here to help this light tank out so he's not alone, because he is getting shot, and I think that's either by a medium tank in their base, or it's the heavy tank. Unfortunately, that shot on the move, that's where possibly having the vert stabs might be a good idea, because that shot on the move didn't hit, ended up hitting the floor. But now we're going against this VK101P, which gets a nice shot into our track and traxers and hits us pretty damn hard. And unfortunately, we only tracked him because the shell went wide and only hit his tracks. And then it does it again, and it's like, gone, please. Behave! The medium tank's got up behind him. We get another shot into the track of the 101p, and this time it tracks him and pens him, and he just runs around and YOLOs a shot straight through us. I'm not quite sure where he hit us there, but he was clearly firing premium and just buttered our armour. But I mean, up close and personal, where the angle of the armour becomes less, you know, naturally making it flatter, 260 odd pen that guy has in his premium probably quite easily went through our upper plate. But there we managed to get a nice snapshot into the equaliser, which shut down that guy and gives us another kill for the tally. We're up to 2 with 3.3k damage. There's only one tank left on the enemy team. It is an artillery, which means that it can only be in one place realistically. And that is, if it's not run off, it's going to be at K0, because that's just where artillery likes to hide on Pearl River. And that means that we have the opportunity to get around there and hopefully get the kill. Oh, that wasn't even aimed at him. We were aiming at the rock to the left. RNG just still went, hey, here's your kill. Thank you very much, RNG. Finished the game with 3 kills, 3.4k damage. Ace tank of the Pascucci's, 1863 base XP. A nice game for the King Tiger in a bottom tier matchup. Realistically, we only fought one tank that was actually top tier though, and that was the MX-30B, which was, you know, alright, which is always a tank that was nice to face because it's not got much armour. But we did have a little bit of an awkward engagement where the gun, like I say, where the gun is absolutely filthy on the Tiger 2. On the King Tiger, it can be a little bit of a letdown at times and does require you to make sure that you are fully aimed to actually hit even those slim shots, pretty much. So we're on to the second and final replay of the video, and we are again in a tier 10 game, and we are on this map, which is Cliff. There we go, I remembered it just in time. And we are going to go to the position at E6, because I'm in a heavy tank, I'm bottom tier. I'm not quick enough to hit that bowl like that light tank's just done. And realistically, from this side, that bowl, donut, half moon, whatever it is, that position at E2-3 or E2-F2 is very hard to take and maintain from our spawn, because for some reason it's far easier for them to get there and then hold it, whereas our side seems to always struggle to get in there and take it. And if you do rush into that position from our spawn, you tend to die pretty quickly. And I always feel it's probably because they might have slightly better sniping positions along the one line. I don't know. But I never tend to risk it in most tanks, realistically, on Cliff from our spawn. Whereas the other spawn, I'll always try and go to the bowl, donut, half moon, whatever it is, if I can. But we are going to this position here at F6, because I can try and get hull down, use my turret armour, and have a good time. But this 780 said no. 780 has no problem penning us. I mean, it's firing premium, which means that, he can just absolutely trash our poor armour, because we are a tier 8 heavy tank, and tier 8 heavy tanks never tend to do very well against the being bottom tier and premium spam. So I decided, you know what? I'm not bothering with this 780. I'm just not going to do that. We're going to flank round and take a different position. We managed to get round onto the side of this IS-7, and unfortunately our premium round bounces off the side of the IS-7. Typical. But it is what it is. I'm going to poke up to see if I can get a shot into the side of this Iron Arnie's turret, because he is facing the other way, which means we can avoid the spaced armour, and we snap the shot wide of his turret, because we aimed pretty badly there. But he comes over, and thankfully for once, he didn't actually shoot me. He chose the 780. Thank you very much, M47 Iron Arnie. And we actually didn't pen him either, which is a shame. But we do manage to get a shot into the IS-7. Oh, sorry, we did pen him. We do manage to get a shot into the IS-7's rear, though. He is starting to turn around for us, and I'm like, okay, I don't like it when you start to turn around. We do have to be careful on this ridge, though, or in this position that we're in here, because if we go too high on this ridge, people from the J line camping in their base, tank destroyers as such, can actually shoot you from here, as this 780's just found. They can shoot you from their base, so you have to be very, very careful. Very careful. Now, unfortunately, we end up bouncing off the lower plate of the 780, because even with our 263, I think it is, oh no, 285 pen, sorry, on the King Tiger, which is absolutely fantastic, we still will struggle to pen the 780's lower plate at times, especially the way it was angled. So we do have to be careful with how we're shooting that thing. But it does end up getting shut down. So far, we're up to 1,500 damage with 1,300 assistance, and we have the complete top end, which means the enemy team is absolutely screwed. And I'm sensing the possibility for a good assistance game, because if we end up taking this top end, we can end up spotting their base and spotting all their camping tanks really easily, and thus, hopefully, we'll manage to get assistance from our team firing in on them. So we get a nice shot into the 704 there, but I've just been careful because that 704 can absolutely delete our armour. And as you're seeing, the assistance is starting to pay in, and we use this little position on this ridge here to, again, start pumping shots into them, keep ourselves in the game with the gun, realistically. Like I said, the 704 has no problem penning us, but actually, I think he had the Derp gun, which meant he only did HE damage there. But we get a nice shot into the track of the M4085, and he's firing HE. Probably speaks volumes because they were all sat in their base, but then that 704 was probably stock. We don't get any more shots into that, though, but we do end up with 2.8k damage so far with 3.3k assistance, and there's only one tank left. And I have a feeling that that tank is in that corner at K1. So I'm just aiming and waiting, and there we go. It's actually a 416 that's AFK. We do manage to snap the shot in, shut him down, and end up with the really nice game. Epic victory, 3 kills, top of the team, 3.1k damage, 3.3k assistance, 6k combined in the tier 10 game. The Ace Tanker, 1973 base XP. Really nice game for the King Tiger in that bottom tier matchup. And yeah, the King Tiger is a pretty nice tank. Overall, I do enjoy playing it. It is worse than the Tech Treat Tiger 2, though, and if you want that kind of gameplay, you could just take the Tiger 2. Is what it is. But this does make good credit, so there is that too. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!